Good morning, traders from whichever side of the country world you're watching me from. Welcome to today's morning market call. My name is Ian Joseph, market analyst at HFM. A quick disclaimer before we do begin: the information herein is only meant for educational and informative purposes only. None of it should be construed as investment advice. Trading the financial markets do carry a degree of risk. But do not worry, I'm here to help you look at the markets the right way. The iconic, thank you for being the first one to join. We have Murithi 9902, Eugene Omura. Welcome to the stream. Starting us off, whereby if I can just share my screen. We do have a few promotions currently running. Yesterday, we gave away over $2,000 just to Kenyans. $6,000 went to Africans. We gave away $2,000 in Nigeria, $2,000 in South Africa, and $2,000 in Kenya from the most recent round, Battle of the Elite, which was round 2, whereby we gave away a lot of money. Now, today, we do have the score and draw, and I want us to look at these promotion that we have currently ongoing. We gave away a brand new Mercedes-Benz last month. We are giving now a BMW 4 Series, whereby, once again, Africa, this is your time, especially Kenya. How do you look at this promotion? Once again, it's going to run from 1st of November till 28th of February 2026, whereby we have an opportunity to trade driving style, powered by your trades. You, the trader, you redeem 25 points for one ticket to be enrolled in the BMW 2025 4 Series. We are going to have an all-expense paid trip for two to the United Kingdom, whichever club of your choice, flight, accommodation, match tickets, all are going to be paid for. You're going to redeem 20 points for one ticket. 4 people are going to walk home with 55-inch TVs. Quite interesting. It's a 4K plus UHD, whereby you're going to redeem 10 points for one ticket. 20 winners are going to be taking home official EPL football jerseys, whereby you have an opportunity to redeem 5 points for one ticket. 60 winners are going to be credited $200 each on their account. Wow, quite interesting, whereby you're going to redeem 2 points for each ticket. We are going to have monthly draws. The next one is going to be in the next 24 days and 14 hours and counting. How do you join? You go over, log into your HF. Under the promotion segment, join the score and draw, whereby you're going to trade and earn points. Then you allocate these points across different draws for exclusive prizes. Okay, now not only that, we do have more competitions that are currently ongoing, and I'll talk about it in just a few moments. If you're going to be in Naivasha, if you are around Naivasha currently at the moment, we are at the Lemayan Suit, whereby the second day, which is going to be today, we shall conclude the Naivasha Pip Stop Tour, whereby you have an opportunity to meet with our mobile market analyst, Mr. Samson Mzera, the man himself, whereby click on the register now, book your slot. If you're going to be available for the advanced sessions, whereby you would want to go to the webinars segment under the tools and education, I will conclude the final meeting for today, whereby we are going to talk about mastering psychology. Think like a trader. Look at the markets as probabilities. Click on the register now. It's going to be in the next 8 hours, 24 minutes. We're going to have limited slots. Kindly book your slot as early as now. Welcome to the morning market call. Once again, my name is Ian Joseph. Now, starting us off, we are going to look at the earnings, whereby currently at the moment we do anticipate earnings from Monster Beverage Corporation, whereby they're going to release their earnings after market close. We're going to receive earnings also for Zalando, Continental, Ngie, Acela, Moderna also is going to release their earnings before market open today. Microchip is going to conclude with the earnings today after the market does close. If you do trade any of these stocks on our platform, kindly keep a keen eye on it, whereby these would anticipate movements in the markets in the specified time. Now, looking at the economic calendar, whenever I wake up in the morning, this is whereby I start my day, whereby I'm going to generate ideas as a result of the economic calendar. What's happening currently at the moment? Let's take, for example, Australian dollar at exactly 2:30 GMT plus 2. So this is going to be at exactly 3:30 a.m. my local time, whereby the Australian dollar did release their trade balance for the month-on-month September numbers, whereby there's a difference between the imports and exports. Now, in an economy whereby they are going to export more than they do import. Remember, let's say, for example, we are looking at Australia. They do have a lot of resources. Let's say, for example, iron ore. If they do export a lot of iron ore, they give away the product and they are going to be paid in terms of Australian dollars. If there's going to be more exports compared to imports, it means that the local currency is going to be stronger. Why? Because there's going to be more Australian dollars as a result. And we're going to look at a chart of AUD USD. What does this mean for us as traders? And the data did come out at 3.9 billion. Quite interesting. If you click on the read official report, you're going to have a new tab opening up, whereby this is the exports and import statistics on a balance of payments and international merchandise trade basis. If you look at this document, it's ABS, which is the Australian Bureau of Statistics.gov.australia, meaning this is the official document that was released at that particular moment in time. Now, the key statistics: the seasonally adjusted balance of goods increased by 2.8 billion in September. Goods credits, which are exports, increased by 3.2 billion, which is almost 7.9%, driven by non-monetary gold. Now, goods debits, which are usually imports, increased by 429 million, which is almost 1.1%, driven by capital goods in the market. Looking at this information, okay, the Australian region is exporting more than it is importing. How does this affect price action? Once again, we are going to look at it in a few moments' time. Going back to the economic calendar, whereby the highlight of the day is going to be in the next 4 hours, 22 minutes, whereby we do anticipate Bank of England to release their interest rate decision. Now, currently, as it stands, the previous number is 4%. We are anticipating a consensus of also 4%. The actual number has not yet been released. At the same time, we are going to have the policy summary, but for us traders, what we want to look at is two main factors here, whereby the first one is going to be the voting. Okay, so the MPC, the Bank of England, has a 9-member committee whereby they do vote on where they are going to set interest rates in the near future. Now, looking at it, 6 members are anticipated to vote for having rates unchanged. Currently, at the moment, we are anticipating at least 3 members to vote for a rate cut in the near future, and then we don't anticipate any member to vote for interest rate hikes currently at the moment, meaning all eyes are on, are they going to leave the voting unchanged? If at all it does come out at exactly 4%, it means the 6 out of the 9 have voted in favor of having interest rates unchanged. And we do anticipate a lot of volatility in the next 4 hours, 21 minutes, in terms of any pair that is going to be affected against the British pound. This could be GBP USD, this could be GBP JPY. Any asset that has the British pound in the next 4 hours, 20 minutes is going to be very, very active. Now, 30 minutes later, we are going to have Governor Bailey releasing his speech. Quite interesting, whereby as a result of everything that has happened, we want to look at his tone. Where does he feel the economy is generally headed to? Now, one of the reasons why we pay attention to the governors is when you look at the forex market in general, central banks are essentially the biggest forex participants. Now, if the head of a central bank is going to speak, we want to listen to his forward guidance. What does he have in mind for the future? Does he feel like the economy will go to a positive pace? Does he feel the economy is contracting? And traders usually look at this information to find either buying or selling opportunities as a result. During New York session, which is going to be in the next 7 hours, 49 minutes. We are going to have Bank of Canada, Governor Macklem releasing the speech also. Once again, we want to look at forward guidance. Where do they feel like the region of Canada is heading to? Is inflation high? Is inflation low? How about the employment? These are some of the factors that the central bank usually look at to decide, are they going to increase interest rates or are they going to lower interest rates? Then we did anticipate a few news releases. Let's say, for example, jobless claims, but as a result of the ongoing government shutdown, which currently as it stands is the longest in history. Today is day 37 after the government of the United States of America officially shut down. There is no end in sight currently at the moment. The Democrats and Republicans are really fighting at it, whereby they would want more money. Obamacare to be basically the big fight here is as a result of the health sector, whereby Obamacare is the biggest discussion. And as a result, we are seeing a lot of people being furloughed. Over 800,000, close to 800,000 people are going on without pay in the United States of America currently at the moment. Yesterday, we did have ADP employment change, quite interesting. If I look at it, and let's just look at this information here, whereby it came out actually positive yesterday at exactly 4:15, whereby the previous number was negative 29,000, which means that actually people lost jobs in the month heading to October. But we were having a consensus of 25,000 jobs. The numbers actually came in better than anticipated at 42,000 jobs, meaning the private sector is moving in a positive direction. Now, the ADP employment change is a gauge of employment in the private sector and is released by the largest payroll processor in the US, the ADP, which is the automatic data processing. It measures the changes in the number of people privately employed in the United States. Now, if the data does come out higher than anticipated, it's usually seen as bullish for the dollar. If it does come out negative, it means that it is anticipated it's going to be bearish for the dollar. This is something that we were anticipating, and the data actually came in positive for the private sector. Now, looking at the charts currently at the moment, before we head over to the charts, we do have this statistic of the Fed Watch tool, whereby the next FOMC meeting is going to be in the next 34 days, 11 hours and counting. Currently, at the moment, as it stands, the interest rates is between 375 and 400 basis points, whereby if we look at the month to October, 6th of October, we were looking at a forecast of 14.6% chance that they are going to have interest rates where they are currently at the moment. But from Jerome Powell's speech last month, whereby he did mention, as a result of not having employment data, and I quote Jerome Powell's words, he did mention, what do you do when you're driving through fog? You do slow down. And this is what we are seeing the Federal Reserve do, whereby they're taking a cautious stand on interest rates in the near future. Now, on 30th of October, the statistics jumped to 27.2%, up from 14.6%. When the week did begin on 4th of November, the statistic jumped up again to 31.4%, whereby they are going to hold interest rates, whereas at the same time, the probability of lowering rates did reduce from 72.8% to 68.6%. Currently, as it stands, the probabilities of having an interest rate cut is 62.5% chance, which is coming actually down, whereas on the other hand, the probabilities of holding interest rates at 375 to 400 basis points is actually jumping up. This is quite interesting, noting how the United States of America currently is looking at this government shutdown. Yes, we are seeing a lot of money being lost in terms of GDP. Statistic has it 0.25% of the GDP is being lost every week as a result of the ongoing government shutdown. What is going to happen in the near future? For us traders, this provides us with a lot of opportunities, which means if you are a trader, this is an opportunity, especially if you are a new trader. We have the Shield 500 account, whereby you have an opportunity.
Introducing the HFM Shield 500 account, a revolutionary new account specifically for new traders. Within your first 25 days, trade with a peace of mind knowing up to $500 in losses are fully covered as tradable funds. It is your chance to learn, practice, and grow with confidence. Ready to kickstart your trading journey? Sign up today and deposit within the first 10 days to get full access to this exclusive offer. Click below to get started, only with HFM.
Beautiful video there. You have an opportunity to open a Shield 500 account whereby if you do deposit within the first 10 days of opening your account, you are eligible for the Shield 500, whereby if you deposit between $10 and $500 within the first 10 days, essentially, whatever losses you go through within the first 25 days, we are going to refund you the full amount. Quite interesting. Basically, you are going to be trading real market conditions risk-free. The Chef 32, today now I'm late. No, you're not. You're just in time, brother, because we are looking at the charts. Once again, you have the opportunity to open the Shield 500 account whereby deposit anywhere between $10 and $500. Whatever losses you go and incur within the first 25 trading days, we are going to refund you the full amount. Jumping over to the charts, and I want us to look at a very interesting execution that we looked at yesterday, starting with the dollar against the Japanese yen. Beautiful execution whereby prices did come retrace back on the golden Fibonacci retracement, and prices continued moving further to the upper side. This was a beautiful execution. Yesterday, while we were doing the morning market call, prices was around that region at 153.448, and prices did move up more than 90 pips to the upper side. Dr. Kudish, welcome to the stream. Currently, as it stands, which could be the next probable scenario that I'll be looking at in the charts? Currently, at the moment, we are seeing prices print side by side. We are basically ranging in the markets, which is a good thing for us as traders, whereby it shows us that, okay, the markets are about to move, and this prepares me for looking at more opportunities as time moves on. If you do get a candlestick that breaks above this region, I would consider looking at more buying opportunities around 154.022. Whereas on the other hand, if you do break and close well below 153.744, I would consider looking at shorting opportunities, potentially prices coming back down, retracing onto the golden Fibonacci retracement region, which is in between the 61.8 and the 50% region. Currently, as it stands, the US dollar against the JPY is very, very bullish. The dollar is firing on all cylinders, and I do anticipate the dollar strength to continue onto the end of the year, whereby if I look at the dollar index currently as it stands, we can see prices are really, really bullish. If you look at it on the past few trading days, whereby ever since 28th of October, prices has been rallying to the upper side. And if we can just put it into perspective, this is almost in less than 140 hours of trading, we have seen the prices of the dollar index move almost 2% to the upper side. Quite interesting looking at this from that perspective, whereby I do anticipate a strength in the dollar once again to continue moving on. Looking at gold, quite interesting, whereby we have been seeing gold consolidate. And this is quite understandable. Whenever the dollar is gaining strength, we usually see money move out of the precious metal and onto riskier assets. Let's say, for example, stocks currently at the moment, they are doing really well, and gold is consolidating. This is something that we do anticipate whenever the markets are moving back to normal territories, whenever investors are feeling confident that, okay, the storm is behind us currently at the moment, we do anticipate gold to continue consolidating, whereby ever since, once again, 28th of October, ever since the dollar index started trending, we have seen gold consolidating, whereby in the past 170 hours, prices has neither made clear higher highs or clear lower lows in the markets. But once again, we are seeing some signs of buyers coming into the markets. If the markets do break above 4037.9, I would consider looking at buying opportunities in the markets. Whereas on the other hand, if the markets do break below 3888, which is a psychological level, I would consider looking at selling opportunities in the market. Silver is not left behind. Once again, ever since 28th of October, when the dollar index started trading, we have seen prices consolidate in the markets. Prices are neither making clear higher highs or clear lower lows in the markets. Looking at our commodities, starting with US oil, we have seen prices break to the downside below $60 a barrel, but currently we are trading above $60 a barrel. If you do get a candlestick that closes well above this region, I would consider looking at more net long opportunities, potentially prices going back to $63 a barrel, which is a psychological level whenever I'm looking at it on the commodity here. This is black gold essentially, which the most recent region is going to be above the $63 a barrel region, which is a quite interesting range for me to trade as a trader. This is almost 5%, almost 300 points on US oil. Looking at so this is US oil, then there is UK oil, whereby once again I'm looking at the statistics whereby the markets are currently making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. This is the FTSE. Sorry about that. I want you to look at UK oil, whereby we just made a recent higher high. Prices are now consolidating. So this is an impulse we did see in the markets. The markets are currently correcting. If we do get candlesticks that close well above this region of support, that prices did break to the downside but closed well above before the markets did close yesterday, I would consider looking at more net long opportunities, potentially prices coming back to $65, 65 British pounds a barrel on UK oil. Moving over to indices, starting with the UK 100, which is the FTSE, we have seen the FTSE rally quite aggressively once again ever since 17th of October to where we are currently at the moment. The FTSE has really gained in more than 300 trading hours. The FTSE has gained more than 5.5% of its total value, which is quite astonishing looking at it from that perspective. These are stocks in less than 1 month. We have seen stocks rally more than 5% to the upper side in the United Kingdom. The S&P 500 is not left behind, whereby if I look at it on an overall perspective, ever since January this year, when Trump did take office officially, he did enact tariffs. We did see the price of S&P 500 move more than 20% to the downside. We did consider this a market crash at this particular moment, whereby in 32 days, the markets moved more than 1,300 pips to the downside. But ever since that lows was created, the S&P 500 has been on the best bull run in more than 10 years, making highs almost 43.81% to the upper side, hitting all-time highs currently at the moment. Now, looking at it from a smaller time frame, which is going to be on the 1 hour perspective, whereby we did have this Fibonacci level from a low to a high. I do anticipate prices to come back into the golden retracement region for a further continuation to the upper side, whereby prices has just changed character. This high has broken the most recent high. We are now correcting. If this low fails to break the most recent low, I would consider looking at more buying opportunities. And this was a setup that we looked at yesterday, whereby we had identified if prices do break above 6,793 region, which was the opening price of yesterday, prices could continue moving further to the upper side. And indeed, price did break to the upper side, came back down to retest that region that was once resistance, now acting as support. If we do get candlesticks that close well above 67.93, I would consider looking at buying opportunities on the S&P 500. But on the other hand, if we do close well below the lows that was made during Asian session today, I would consider looking at selling opportunities on the S&P 500. Switching gears to the NASDAQ, we have been seeing companies post better than anticipated earnings in the tech companies. And if I look at it on a higher perspective, on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, prices are really bullish ever since 5th of August. Actually, ever since that period of August, April, May, around that region. Also, the NASDAQ was not left behind, whereby the NASDAQ has gained more than 60% of its total value in less than 146 trading days. This is one of the best bull runs that the United States has ever experienced. And this is one of the reasons why the dollar is gaining strength currently at the moment. The tech industry is really, really firing on all cylinders. We are seeing these companies dedicate more money into research and development in the near future. And this is attracting more investors into these companies. When you look at NVIDIA, when you look at Meta, Google, they have more money planned out in the next 5 years to research and development. Share your comment section. Which asset will you want me to look into? Drop some love in the chat section. Give me some love. Give me some love. If you are on Instagram, kindly give me some love. Give me some fire emoji or the dollar emoji currently at the moment. Looking at the Nasdaq, once again, I do consider prices, if I can pull a Fibonacci from this low to this high, once again, prices are almost on the 50% retracement region, whereby we had this candlestick moving, dipping down to the 25,201 region. Oh yeah, nah, beautiful stuff, whereby I do anticipate prices to continue moving further to the upper side, potentially breaking the most recent high. Seasonality speaking, towards the end of the year, we see stocks rally to the upper side. And I do anticipate equities also to move to the upper side as a result. Because when you're looking at the indices are built, they are composed majorly of these companies. If these companies do well, it means that one, they are going to be paid more. If they're going to be paid more, it means more money is going to be in circulation. Shutdown, welcome to the stream. Moving over to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, whereby once again, it is not left behind. We are having signs of sellers driving the markets to the downside. Thank you, Shiku, for the dollar emojis, whereby we are seeing buyers trying to push the markets to the upper side, whereby we have candlesticks that have smaller bodies to the top and larger shadows to the bottom. Currently, prices is retracing on the 14-period moving average, and this is what I would want to anticipate. If this candlestick closes well above the 14-period moving average, I do anticipate prices to continue moving further to the upper side. Stephen Bugo, thank you for the love. Kindly keep it coming, keep me motivated. We are sharing knowledge here. If you're going to miss out on these videos, we usually update it on our YouTube channel, whereby you're going to have an opportunity to go back in time, look at what we have discussed ever since the week has started. It is playing out to the rule book, and this is the purpose of me as a trader. You plan your trades and you trade your plan, okay? Which asset would you want me to analyze for you? We have looked at commodities, we have looked at gold, we have looked at oil, we have looked at equities. I would want to look at the Nikkei 225, whereby last month was a really good month for the Nikkei 225, whereby ever since the month did open to where the month did close, the Nikkei 225 gained almost 17% of its total value. Wow, quite interesting, in less than 23 trading days. Currently, at the moment, we are seeing the markets open. We did see this on the first few trading days, whereby the markets did move to the downside. But look at this specific candlestick, whereby sellers tried to push the markets to the downside, but buyers came in and drove prices quite aggressively. And this was yesterday trading, whereby the markets did aggressively close to the upper side. We are now getting a candlestick that is going to retrace on the 14-period moving average. If I do anticipate signs of buyers coming into the markets, and this is what we do talk about on our sessions, if I do get signs of buyers coming into the markets, I will consider looking at net long opportunities on the Nikkei 225. Kozi, appreciate the dedication to share some knowledge with us. Not so many traders do it for free. So I'll say thank you, sir. Thank you too. This is why we're here. We want to change the perception of how people are looking at forex trading. It is possible, and I have shown you it is possible, whereby you can make money as a result of trading. The history is there. The data usually speaks for itself. We look at things, plan it, and then you execute it. It's not that difficult. It's not rocket science. You don't need an MBA to trade forex. You just need to be a good student. We're having thanks, sir, live in Nakuru. Welcome. We shall be in a Mana View Hotel, I do believe, from tomorrow. Go over to the website, register for the classes. And how comes you're so good at analyzing those pairs? If I can put it into one sentence, discipline and consistency, okay? Discipline and consistency will take you places you have never imagined. You just look at the charts. Be a good student. If you deposit money into an account, the first thing is risk management. Whenever you take a trade, ask yourself, why did you take that position? If you make money from that trade, ask yourself, how can I replicate it more in the near future? If you lose money in the forex markets, ask yourself, okay, what can I learn? Basically, that's the only thing I've been doing, being a good student of the markets. We have a shout out from MS Amara Rial Muhia from Rwanda. Beautiful stuff. How's Rwanda? Like to go to Rwanda. And Bel Abadi Ntare, your loyal viewer from East Africa. Salute to you. That's it. Live from Naivasha as I wait for the seminar to start. Beautiful stuff. We're going to have traders there that have been trading in the financial markets for quite some time. We're going to have Samson Zera. We're going to have a few other traders whom Trust you me, those are the people who have really nurtured me, molded me into the trader I am currently at the moment. I didn't do this alone, and I'm willing to walk this journey with you. Start trading with us. We have the score and draw promotion currently ongoing. Once again, if I can just pull up this video here, whereby you have an opportunity to win a brand new BMW 4 Series. Okay, Little Kinum, big up man, I'd love to reach there or even higher one day. How can the sky be the limit and their footprints on the moon? Ntare wants us to analyze Bitcoin. Okay, so let me pull up a screener for crypto. So this is the heat map for crypto, whereby Bitcoin on the 24 hours is up 1.42%. Interesting. Currently trading at 103,164. Quite interesting looking at it. Now, if I look at it on a year-to-date perspective, Bitcoin is almost up 10%. Ethereum is up 1.5%. XRP, most of the cryptos except Solana, Dogecoin are in the blues. But if I can analyze a chart, let's see more on advanced charts on crypto here currently at the moment, whereby looking at it on a 1 hour perspective, we have been seeing prices rally to the downside. And once again, crypto is tied to how the dollar is moving at the moment. If there's a lot of more dollars moving in circulation, technically speaking, we do see prices of Bitcoin moving further to the upper side. We have been seeing some profits taking. If I can switch over to the daily time frame, whereby we did have a change of character. This was back on 4th of October 2025, whereby prices did make an all-time high on Bitcoin around 126,357, but we did see the markets change character, whereby this low broke the most recent low, and prices are now making lower lows, lower highs. We just broke the most recent lower low also, and if I can identify this pattern here, quite interesting, whereby prices are now making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Could we see a potential lower high forming somewhere around this region for a further continuation to the upper side? If I can pull a Fibonacci from this high to this low, if I do see prices coming back into this territory around the $100,000, $110,000 to be exact, dollars a Bitcoin, I will consider looking at more short opportunities if we get signs of sellers coming into the market. But currently at the moment, we are seeing a region of support forming around this particular region. This is going to be very decisive. If we get this candlestick closing very bullish, then this means prices of Bitcoin could potentially move further to the upper side. That's going to be for Bitcoin. We have Ricky Note, nice, kuna Kahoot Kesho. We'll look at that. Ntare, hello from Rwanda once again. That's going to be it for me once again. You have the opportunity to open the Shield 500 account, whereby in this account, you have an opportunity to deposit anywhere between $10 and $500. Whatever money you lose within the first 25 trading days, we are going to refund you the full amount. Quite interesting, noting how that is going to play out for you as a trader. Basically, we are encouraging you traders to trade real live market conditions risk-free. Now, once again, if you can just look at the Shield 500, let's look at this beautiful video once again.
Introducing the HFM Shield 500 account, a revolutionary new account specifically for new traders. Within your first 25 days, trade with a peace of mind knowing up to $500 in losses are fully covered as tradable funds. It is your chance to learn, practice, and grow with confidence. Ready to kickstart your trading journey? Sign up today and deposit within the first 10 days to get full access to this exclusive offer. Click below to get started, only with HFM.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Special shout out to Christina. Thank you for joining the stream. Kozi is asking, so Fib Tool 1 puts it on the lows and highs. Yes, you drag it from a low to a high. These are some of the things that I do talk about in the classes. So if you're going to be available in Naivasha, once again, we're going to be at the Lemayan Suits. If you are not available, we do have online sessions that usually do begin at exactly 7 p.m. Go over to the events segment. If you go to the events segment on our website, webinars, sorry, not events, but the webinars, under the tools and education, the webinars, then you have an opportunity to register. So today, in the next 7 hours, 53 minutes, I'm going to talk about the best topic. One of the best things I'm really good at, mastering market psychology, whereby you have an opportunity to click, register now, book your slot. That's going to be it for me. Take care of yourselves, stay safe. So the webinars are for anyone in East Africa, okay? If you're from Rwanda, Tanzania, any place, where does HFM get its data feed from? Okay, that's a good question. I think I can just, so we have 4 servers. Let me just show you. That's a very beautiful question. I rarely get such questions. It's usually on the journals. Okay, so this one is we are receiving feed through Amsterdam DC currently at the moment. So it's usually either Amsterdam or London. So there are 4 servers. There are 4 servers that we usually look at. There's one in Asian session. There's one in Asia also. So that's where we get our data feed from. That's going to be it for me. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Be blessed. I shall see you when you see me next.